Alrighty then. Hope everyone's weekend was nominally better than mine. Preferably in the 100% area, but I'll take any percentage over almost breaking my foot. So, go ahead and start today's session, recapping a little bit of last time. Last session was interesting in its own sense. Compared to the previous sessions beforehand, where a lot of lore dumping and information gathering, last session was more kind of a take a chill pill, relax, and enjoy themselves type of session. Comparatively, like I said. With basically nothing immediate to do, or at least, and much to Polly's trying to get the group to make a decision on what exactly is going to be the next step of the plan. The group has not yet really decided upon that, though they did at the end a little bit. It's still more of a, oh, we'll try this, and if it doesn't work, we'll just walk there.
That's a plan.
That's a contingency. Nevertheless, you guys were able to sort of enjoy yourselves in the town. A lot of purchasing of items had happened last session, spread out among different members of the party. A lot of projects got worked on, spread out among different portions of the party. Pretty much that's where we ended, was everyone working on a project, shopping, or, well, the druid doing druid things. So, though many things happened, we sort of ended kind of in the middle of the day, roughly around noon to 1-ish, where everyone basically went to their own corners and started doing their own things. Amrit, Kapoor, and Rachel all working on their projects. Bryn going off with Jeanette through the town shopping. Nori off doing druid things. And Polly sticking to his guns after sending a message out to, I believe it was Yelena, for a possible rendezvous. Polly had a hard couple last days, so he's enjoying the alone time drinking. The dogs are pissed. So, that's where we're going to pull back in. It's during the time where everyone's still working. Nori's gone, so we'll get back to her. Bryn took care of what you asked me to take care of with you and Jeanette. Is there anything else that you wanted to do with your mother while you had her?
I keep going back and forth if I'd ask her about more of the tattoos, but I don't want to, like, bombard her with, like, all of the tattoos and be like, what's this one mean? What's this one mean? What's this one mean?
To be fair, I mean, unless you're getting naked.
I know. Well, I have my book.
You do have the book, but it's not only the rune, it's also the location.
It's placement.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you guys haven't really been checking on that the last couple days.
Thanks for that reminder.
Yeah, no problem. So you're not even sure yourself if anything has changed. So as far as the runes that are visible, up and down your arms, along your neck, base of your skull, she would tell you she would confirm what you already know for the certain ones that you do. And then she would also let you know that most of the ones that are up and down the arms are usually combat related in some sense, either through the Valkyrie traits or through your class specifically that you picked. So she'll tell you the one that does haste. She'll show you the one that does blur. Like, she just kind of goes over like, oh, this is for this. Most of these are for combat in some regards. Though some can get relocated. that's more dealer's choice. But it's all of them are mainly to show strength. And that's why a lot of leg ones would be in the same vein. Anything else?
I know she was all dressed up for brunch, but considering she was also Shield Maiden, Bryn would ask if at some point she would want to practice or spar or something like that, just to see what that's like with her.
Oh yeah, she's down. She'll rip what she's wearing to... She won't even change. She'll just be like... ripping off the bottom portions.
Great. Can we find a place to do that then?
Just kind of like reaches back and takes out her jagged sword and just basically rips the back end of her dress out.
I love that. I'm sure Bryn's gonna get her ass kicked, but she's fine.
But yeah, if you guys want to train, she's down to train.
Yeah, I think that's what Bryn would want to do, just to see her in action too.
A little bonding time.
Exactly.
Now, did you just want to kind of like play fight? Did you want her to show you stuff? Like, what realm of practice? Like trying to take her down and see what she's got?
Bryn's not the smartest, but she's not that stupid. She's gonna assume like, no, this is just gonna, she can kill me if she really wanted to. Probably more on the side of practice, and then if she has any moves that she can show her, sure, yeah, she'd be good for that.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
I really got to work on that.
Are you smarter than a Caporn? It's a new game show idea that Caporn's having.
For a fighter, you make a remarkable amount of intelligence.
Really ridiculous, and all of them suck.
So, there's a portion during the training where you guys are kind of going back and forth that she starts pushing your boundaries, trying to see what you've learned, how far you've come, and where you're at. And then she gets to the point where you shield bash her, and then you use your extra oomph to send her like 15 feet back. And she wasn't really expecting that. And so she kind of smirks and does an interesting maneuver where she takes her shield, slides it against her longsword until it catches on the end of the longsword. She does a 360 circle and basically launches her shield at you. You get your shield up just in time, but it knocks you prone. And by the time that you realize what happened, she's above you, sword at the throat. She tries to teach you this. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit out of your grasp. And she's trying to teach you the maneuvers, and ultimately she brings it down to the shield's just a little bit too big for you to do it. Maybe when you're a bit stronger, you can go back to her and learn that move. But it's fun, fighting with her, and then also, trying to do the teacher-student situation, which is a little easier to get into rather than the whole mother-daughter thing. So it's a nice intermediary space of like, okay, she's trying, I'm trying. This is more comfortable than being like, hey, Mom. So it's a good overall situation. Now, as far as Nora's goes, I believe you said you wanted to do something.
Just get out of the town for a little bit. I'll turn into a bird, and I just want to explore the area. I'm not doing anything crazy, just exploring, looking around, getting out of town a bit. But I think I'll go downstairs and let Polly know I'm going out, so it's not like I'm up and disappearing.
It'd be great if you already turned into a bird and did that. Just down the stairs. Just do the bird salute. And just walk out the door.
What would I turn into? We'll do a little hawk, just like hopping down but those like really small ones that are
Yeah.
have the slightly longer legs. I hop down, wave at Polly.
Sounds about right.
And I head out.
Roughly the same place where you and Avita were. Okay.
Yeah.
Simple enough, easy enough. You've already been there, so.
What's this forest like?
It's not so much of a forest. You haven't gotten to the actual forest of it yet. That one's a little further away. This is more of like a tendril of the forest that has kind of grown northwards. So as you're flying above, you can see how thick it is and whatnot. This part of this thicket is more like maybe a quarter mile thick at its biggest point. It's closer to like oak tree, so very dense, thick, darker wood, and the canopies decently thick as well. Though once you're under them, the taller areas are easier to kind of see up and under. The branches are a little bit more sparse. Other than that, you've got like different types of deer that roam through here. You've got all sorts of fox, badger, mid to small game, nothing too large that lives in this forest.
So nothing new to me?
No, nothing new.
Yeah, I think she'll just kind of stay as a bird, sit in a tree, and just kind of enjoy the quiet or the different type of quiet that the forest and stuff has. And then after some time, I think she might very, very tentatively, because my gem's on the outside now, right? It doesn't merge in with the rest of my equipment anymore, doesn't it?
Correct.
So it's on the outside. I can stay as a bird. Let's meditate as a bird. That's fun.
Bird meditation.
Exactly. And
We're not going to
very
help you, I'm
tentative-
just saying.
Exactly. Very tentatively reach out, but just ready to throw the walls back up at the first sign of anything.
Okay, trying to reach out to Trenty.
She's not confident it'll work because she's so worried about accidentally contacting someone again. So it's more of to put the effort out there.
Yeah. Just go ahead and roll a d20. Actually, you know what? D100. Do a D100.
26. I knew I was going to roll a 1, too.
Yeah, unfortunately, trying to just slightly reach out isn't enough to break possibly whatever barrier or get as far as needed to reach out to Trentamir. So you spend a few 5-10 minutes on it, but you get nothing back.
And I guess I just enjoy the woods until it feels like everyone probably will be congregating back.
Okay. As for you, Polly, as things go on, the drinks continue flowing. You even get offered some free pie as a decently loyal customer after quite a few hours of drinking. They're like, you know what? Let's give him some pie. He needs to eat something. And they're just taking care of you. But throughout your entire time there, no one comes.
You mind if I make a couple calls?
Yeah?
Okay, I'm gonna pass sending to my mom. Hey mom, heading your way. Don't get excited, we don't know how long it'll take. Bringing 5 new friends. Might have the solution about Laverne.
Okay. Pretty quickly after the end of your message goes through. Well, that's good. Glad you're on your way. See you when you get here. More friends. Wonderful. I'll put a feast on.
And then I want to cast sending to my dad. Hey, Dad. Miss you. Wish you were here. Really need to talk. Found new stuff about myself. Not good. Kiss Mom for me.
Less verbiage from your dad, but with this spell you can get also a sense of what they're feeling when they're talking to you. And even though he doesn't say much, you just get the feeling of like you both sitting at a bar, you're next to him, and he just wraps his arm around your shoulder and kind of like shoulder checks and hugs you in as he just will do. See you soon.
We'll just go back to drinking. He's at that point now that it's like, it doesn't matter how much you drink, you're just kind of always there, but
Yeah.
not quite drunk enough.
Just kind of keeping that line going. Where you like get stuck in thought just a little too long and start to sober up, and you're like, oh shit, gotta catch up. Then, like, all right, there we are. All right. So eventually, Jeanette bids you farewell, Bryn, saying that I'm sure as you guys had talked, you told her that you guys would probably be leaving soon. She would again remind you that Velik and Yelena are. She hasn't seen them in since the whole Parent Trap thing. And there's no note or message or anything about them coming back anytime soon. So whether that's good or bad, that's what you should know. And since you guys will be leaving soon, she's gonna head back home. Starting tomorrow, so she's like, home's there if you need it. Always willing to talk. And just kind of that awkward last moment of like, hug, no hug. And she's like, fuck it. And then she just goes and just like wraps you into a hug and kind of knocks her head against your head and says, don't die.
Yeah, she's not gonna try to. I'll take out my other book and say I'll remember to write about what we fight.
I'd be interested in reading that book eventually. Maybe I'll write one myself.
She's not gonna write a novel, but she's gonna take notes at least.
With that, she throws the sword on the shield on the back and walks her way past the academy gates, back up to the Rain residence. And you start heading back. Nori ends up making her flight back. Richa, you finish with your projects and clean up all your materials from your workshop. And start making your way back. Amrik and Kapoor, I believe, are working up in the rooms, so...
Warren had finished one of his dolls.
The one for Polly, I believe.
Amric had wasted some wood.
Well, these things happen. That's why you got extra. But eventually...
You guys don't get to know what Rachaz are yet.
Nope.
You will, though.
Eventually, as Nori, Richard, Bryn start making their way back, all getting together at different times, but ultimately coming through the inn at roughly the same time to see Polly still there, continually tying one off. Caporn's probably ran down to hand off said doll.
Polly, I have a present for you.
Hmm?
He's like, are you ready? As he's a hand behind his back. He's like,
Sure.
so he presents to you a little Bill doll for you because you don't have Bill right now. So he thought of you first.
That's amazing. Thank you.
He just kind of sets him on the table. He kind of just stands there like a little replica of Bill. He's a cute little thing.
Looks just like him. Thank you, Caporn. I appreciate that.
Wait, you haven't seen the best part. Pulls out a little crate. It looks like a little barrel that he just attaches to Bill's side.
A triple X on it.
So he has his own keg too.
That's amazing.
I hope you like it. Again, sorry for everything that happened lately.
It's all right. I do like it a lot. Thank you very much.
Orton does like double fist pumping. He's like, now I'm hungry. So he goes off looking for food in the bar.
And Amric has free firewood.
Cha sort of just like over at Caparn's like, my turn, and holds out his hand.
If there's ever a good thing about having someone who works with wood who's not very good at it, we'll always have fire.
So, Caporn, as you turn around with double fist pumping in the air looking for food, Racha stands there with his hands open.
Oh, hi, Rachel. Yours is in the works. I'll have it soon for you. I hope you're excited for it.
He just sort of nods. I hope you're excited for it. Yours is in the works.
Oh, you have something for me as well?
He gives you the so-so hand gesture and is like, sure.
Alright, well, hopefully my project finishes. I finish it soon enough. I think you'll like it. And pets Ratron, like pats his Ratron on the head. It's like,
At this time, you guys are all sort of conglomerated down in the inn, the main area of it, as those that have returned and also those that are now, their stomach has required them to seek sustenance. The inn doesn't offer dinner, so you guys are going to eventually have to make it to the tavern, but I don't think most of you are against that.
So are we still on the same, like, path to, like, see if we can find somebody to bamf us there tomorrow, and then if not, like, start walking? Is that what we're doing tomorrow?
I think that was the plan, yeah.
What path are we taking? It's Polly's family, then mine, then Caporn's.
I thought we were doing Solbrin, then Lingby, and then District 3 to see your family, and then down to see
Yeah.
Corin's.
Though, I gotta be honest, I don't know if we're gonna be able to find someone easily, at least, to magic us there.
That is
Uh,
correct.
Go down to Caporin's, I'm sure.
Or even to your place, Chloe. Jeanette said that she hasn't seen the thing in Yelena since last night, and there's no note or anything or saying that they're coming back or not.
What about Arix or Nori's mentor / future stepmom?
Well, they're not
Or-
here, little
sorry.
buddy.
aunt.
Sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Put it on here, little buddy.
We're definitely Alabamaing it.
Pretty much. Her name's Evita.
Sorry. Rachel, they're not here.
Well, I haven't seen them since they came flying back.
So it sounds like we're walking.
Well, we get to ride. I have my conjure animals thing, so it won't be walking.
Have some good music for the road trip.
Did you learn something new?
Or just maybe. He's like, I mean, he's picked up at least 2 new songs since concert, or he's perfected 2 songs. So
All right, then, shall we go get something to eat and then get some rest before we leave? Is there anything else we need to do here?
I mean, did we want to set up or no, we're going to use Noria's magic horses, right? Never mind then.
Yes. And the plan with that is usually I cast it 4 times short rest, then I can cast it 4 more to make 8 hours, just so I can get spells back.
Correct.
Well, that sounds like a plan then.
2 + 2, I figured water.
Sorry, it's not the fancy wizard thing. I can only do so much.
Don't be sorry. Real quick, are you guys the foraging type or the make sure we have rations type?
Well, Nori can magically make food, but if for whatever reason that failed, I'm pretty good at gathering food.
I mean, I can make food and water. It's just sustainable. It's not good.
Yeah,
I can help flavor the food.
we're usually pretty good as far as food goes. That is... Val laughing worries me.
Or child thinking of his drugs goes, I can help flavor the food.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
That or Amber
Nori makes a mental
using his
note to not
must or
take anything
something
from
to
Rachel.
like give the good berries a flavor.
Warren just needs to. Warren will take some of your flavoring, Richa. He has people to talk to.
All right.
Emmerich has just now, because he hadn't yet, made the note to not give Kaporan any tea when he makes it.
All right. So you guys make your way to the tavern, get dinner, gold a person for dinner. That's drinks included. And if there's anything else that you guys would like to discuss or do before the day is out.
Yeah. On our way, like our shop's still open, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, no, this it's a port town, so the shops usually run a bit later into the night because of all the ships that come in from fishing and such at dusk. So they need to be able to do their shopping too.
Is there anywhere I can pick up a loot?
Yeah.
I want to do that. Just a basic one, nothing super fancy.
Yeah, Siren's Song would have something like that. Basic loot is going to be 5 gold.
Okay. Easy enough. And I will catch up with everybody and hand it to Amric. Hey, that's twice that you've tried to teach Kaporan songs from where you're from, and I'm actually really excited to hear them. So I got this for you so you can use it so that you can teach him something new. And I don't know, I understand it's one of those things like remind yourself of home and who you are and where you came from.
Emmerich will take it. He'll say, I really appreciate it, Polly. It means a lot. It's a very thoughtful gift.
And hey, maybe after you get some like woodworking skills up in there, you can make your own.
Yeah, I'm definitely not that good yet, but maybe one day. Do I still have the loot?
Yeah. Why would you think
You're
you
not
don't?
trying to steal from me.
No?
Well, Emmerich, I would love to learn your songs now that you have your own loot. At one point I had these wonderful instruments that that one person gave me, but I lost them when I fell from the sky that one time. I have no clue where they are. They're like little shakers. They're so fun.
Well, I'm sure that once we get into a big city, we can find some for you.
Imagine everyone kind of looking at Caparin, very confused.
Or just wants to learn Emrich's music. Emrich, teach me.
Well, that definitely can happen now.
I've got Amric's first song. Ready?
Will you play something for us? Will you play something for us, Emrich?
Yes, I am. I don't even know
To-
how many songs Emmerich knows.
To be fair, this is more of a joke.
I love you, bitch. Oh my god. I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
What an interesting taste in music your tribe has.
Goliath's are much more straightforward.
It's just like a sacred, beautiful song ding.
Richard's just sitting there nodding like, interesting.
Richard's like, I can get down to this song.
I'm 50-50 right now between whether I want Emmerich to just think that everyone likes it, or if I should inside check and know for sure. No, it's beautiful music. Truly a masterpiece.
It really is.
You don't need an insight check to know that Richard genuinely loves it.
Someone's really just feeding it up on you, and I was like, it was an amazing song. Point we have something lined up for like going forward. Probably like depending on how long we're traveling for. But weekly he'll check up on his mom and ask how she's doing and check in with her about Tim.
How long ride?
I'm thinking it'll probably be a couple of weeks, if not just a little bit longer.
Anything interesting?
I mean, we'll be going through District 8. If you guys want to like take a detour and swing up to the capital and then over to Solbrin, we could hit 3 capitals on the way if you wanted to do that. Just make like a road trip out of it.
See the giant ball of yarn in District 8.
The giant dinosaur sculpture in District 1.
I see
I'm
the
all
giant
for it.
dinosaur.
Ooh, Amric, we can go, or fuck. Uber Child, we can go see the Ixia's largest left Sioux in District 2.
Jaw's jaw just drops and eyes go wide.
A new song prepared for that one. For our travels across Ixia.
I'm all for it.
Nori, you said that you could conjure horses, right?
That is correct.
Can you conjure really big birds?
Only for an hour. I only have 1/5 level.
Oh, because I was just thinking, like, wouldn't they be a lot faster?
They are faster, but it would be. We could only do it for 2 hours in a day, and then I'd be out of my 5th level. So, although horses are a little slower, they get us to where we want to go a bit faster. Plus, I need to use. Plus, I would need to use a wild shape to carry all of us, all that fun stuff.
Oh, I mean, you could use the pearl that you gave me.
No, it would be. It's a 5th level in order to conjure enough birds to carry us all. Because depending on how much power you put into the cask, the more animals you can conjure. It's normally 3rd level, but if you do it at 5th, you can conjure more. 7th, even more. Which is how we scared my brother. It's great.
Just thought I'd ask.
No, it's a good question. One day.
Well, it sounds like we have a long day tomorrow, so I'm gonna hit the hay.
All right. Is that pretty much for everybody? Anybody want to do anything else before the night?
I mean, besides, Warren would have figured out, like, it would be a good time to contact Mom now, or at some point I wanted to pour into message her.
Yeah, you can do it now.
Yeah. Just a simple message, like,
She's probably not
Hi,
working
Mom, I
as
love you.
crazy hours now.
yeah. Won't have to worry about interrupting her work. But of course, just a simple message like, "Hi, Mom. How are you doing? I'm working my way to see you. Should be down in a few weeks to maybe 2 or 3 months. Just so that, like, I love you both. I hope to see you soon," kind of thing.
Oh, heck, Borin. Can't wait. Sooner than later. Tim's growing big. Hope you're doing well.
Like 3 months old, 3-4 months old.
Yeah, and comparatively from a brand newborn baby to by the time you would be 6 months old, it's going to be pretty big comparatively.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I just see like time shifting like into an old man at this point.
We're not like Benjamin Buttoning this.
Or we'll just do that periodically to check on her. Check on like, see if anything's changed or if she's in trouble or anything like that.
All right. Okay. So you all get to sleep in your own ways, times. Most likely, Bran asking Nori now, "Hey, can you check my tattoos?"
No, that just popped into my head. Thank you.
No worries. Nothing has changed since the last time you checked, except obviously the flowers are gone. Beyond that, you guys all get to sleep. Waking decently early in the morning, some sooner than others, but eventually you all conglomerate down at breakfast, unless you wanted to do something prior.
Warren has nothing. He'd make it down for breakfast and, of course, load up in whatever meats he can.
Is it another chicken feast?
No, today is pork. No, sorry, no, we had pork. Other way around. Pork, chicken, beef.
Darn, I was hoping for some pocket bacon.
Baking cups.
Pocket ribs.
Emmerich still
Can you
has one
turkey?
mug worth of bacon if you want it.
How old is that?
2 days old.
Too old.
It's extra crisp now.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
I feel like jerky would be there. Could you not get pocket jerky?
Yeah, I mean, if they took the time to do it.
We could take the time to do it.
Slow cooking it over 8 hours.
You need to enchant one of the cups with gentle repose, just so that it keeps the food fresher.
Can I slow roast it over my bag?
Wait, what was that?
Can I slow roast it over my bag?
The sun's not that hot here. It's not like you guys are walking through the desert.
Oh no, I mean like my bag of molten metal.
Oh, that's probably gonna cook it really quickly, to be honest. And it tastes like iron.
Oh, okay.
It's got to be like a convection oven, like a dehumidifier sort of thing.
Slow roast 6 hours at 135 degrees.
There's Richard's next building plan. He's going to create the first convection traveling oven.
Well,
Microwave.
There is a bag of cooking. It exists in this world.
Really, there is?
Yep.
Why haven't we come across it yet?
You guys haven't
We
been in
don't
the
look
place
for
that
it.
it's created.
Oh,
That's really cool.
Yeah, you can put pretty much. I think it's up. I don't have it open in front of me, but I think it's up to 100 pounds worth of raw meat into it, and
What do you mean you don't have it open in front of you? Like we're gonna ask for it at any moment, sir.
it's about
now
100.
that we know it exists.
100 pounds of raw meat, and it cooks it over a 3-hour period, and then you can leave it in there as its own sort of bag of holding to keep it from going bad.
Wow.
So it's an oven and a stasis refrigerator as well.
No, it's not going to keep it indefinitely. It just doubles the lifetime of it, so it's more of just like a
It's
Ziploc
like leaving
bagging
it-
it.
Oh, getting one.
Is that Polly's new goal in life without knowing it?
If I happen to come across it, I will spend all my money on it.
I had a dream last night of a bag of cooking. We must find
Gets
this.
a light bulb in his head. I'll figure it out.
If Racha was proficient in Arcana as well, that would just be a ridiculous character.
Just the gadgeteer of all gadgeteers. Without actually being an artificer.
Yeah. All right. So, morning has come. You guys have eaten. What's the decision?
Go a little ways outside of town. I summon some horses and we get on.
So are we going
Sounds
straight
like a
there, or are
plan.
we stopping at Capitals on the way?
I mean,
Yeah, capitals.
and didn't you and Kaporan say you wanted to travel and look around anyways before?
Yeah, I'm totally down for this.
Road trip.
All right.
I'll make sure
Polly,
my
would you mind
casket's
leading?
full.
I don't know my way around these lands yet.
I mean, sure. I'm not a very good ranger, but yeah, sure. I mean, can we
Or at
travel with
least-
like a caravan or somebody who knows where the hell we're going?
Rashad just sort of
stealth-
cracks his knuckles and is like, I got this.
I mean, there's roads that go places.
Yeah, and from Polly, you do know that the road from each capital to capital, if you go out of the road, the one that is paved and marked with a stone of the color of the district that you're in, going through that, if you're going in the direction of another capital, once you get past the district line, it'll switch colors, but those roads all lead to the capital. So you can literally kind of connect to different roads as long as you're following the stones. It'll get you there.
Easy enough.
Like District 7, it's pretty easy because there's only the one going up to District 8 and over to District 6. Once you get to District 6, that's when it becomes just a road fuckery of different roads, all leading out to different capitals. That's enough.
So, just so you guys know, the towns are going to get a little cookie cutter out from here on out. So they're pretty easy to navigate if you need anything.
So all the towns are just like the same?
Pretty much, yeah. It's a pretty good system. I mean, you know where everything is when you get there.
Interesting. I also need to find a cookie cutter now.
What would you do with it?
Make cookies.
Exactly.
Sure, when we get to the opportunity to do that, but you know what? More power to you.
I mean, if we
It
find
might be a
one,
fun thing for Mom.
yeah, my mom will help us do that stuff too. She's a great cook.
I want
That's
to make
adorable.
cookies for him.
Alrighty.
Not enough.
Onward and
not
upward.
enough. Yeah, we're out.
Here, I'll be
Peace.
right back. My brother's screaming.
Just go ahead and put him down. Okay. So, with that, you guys start off on your pathway to District 8. I need someone to do the magnificent rolling of the D10.
Who did it last time?
I think it was me, and I fucked it up real bad.
Is that when we ended up in the...
Alrighty, a big old number 6.
Don't worry, guys. I'm real good at this.
And following those numbers is 6, and 6, and 6. So we'll be fine.
Alright. So, using the horses, Nori's summonings, short rest, and then summonings once more. Getting up to the city of Kahel would be the capital city in District 8. Kahel. It's going to take you guys roughly 4 days. It is at the beginning of your third day that you guys are traveling, and up ahead, a few hundred feet as you make your way over a small hill, you see something in the road. Looks to possibly be a wreckage of a caravan. Not sure how fresh or active it is, but you don't see anything moving from where you guys are currently at.
Hurt people that way?
Possibly. Bren will take out her shield and sword just in case.
There is a road that runs parallel to this road, about a quarter mile off to the right, or to the east. So you could avoid this completely by going back a little bit and kind of circling around if wanted.
Would that take off any time?
Not really, not enough to make much of a difference.
Richard, do you want to sneak up there and see what's going on?
I mean, it's an option. He'll just sort of shrug.
I don't know. I'm just feels sketchy.
How far away is
I am
it?
rather paranoid.
About 300 feet from you right now.
He's not too worried, so he'll get off and go ahead and sneak on over.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Are we in grasslands right now?
Yes. Pretty much the majority of the southern districts are grassland. Except for a little bit of District 4 and 5 that are mountainous. Okay.
Hey, Val. For my shield, I attuned to it, but we never had it identified. Do I know what it does, like in detail?
I don't have yours pulled up. What, did I name the shield for you?
Yeah, it's a shield of missile attraction.
Gotcha.
So it
No,
I'd
not
be
yet.
on. Not yet. Okay.
Okay.
Well, in that case, Amric will just be watching like the sides of the road, just in case he can't see any movement, in case it's a trap or anything.
Yeah, Nori's also kind of looking out for trap.
Apparently, we've all been burned too many times.
Okay. So, with Rachel moving forward and everyone else staying behind, preparing 300 feet away, Rachel finally gets up to this wreckage. And it very much is wreckage. There looks to be one decently large cart that was part of this. Looks like both the wheels on its right side have been completely destroyed. The cart lays on its left side. The horse that was pulling the cart is dead. Still attached to the cart itself. Looking at it, it looks like it has some broken legs as well as a large wound in its brain. There is what looks to be 4 to 5 casks of some sort of liquor that were in the back of the carts that have all been broken open and soaked into the ground here. And you see, it probably didn't happen too long ago, as some of the earth around where they broke it open is still a little bit damp. And as you're kind of making your way, looking through everything, you see a decently younger girl with a sword in her lap, which has dried blood on it. And she's kind of just sitting there, knees to the chest, crying. Long black hair over her face, so you can't really see what kind of race she is or anything like that, but she's just kind of sobbing there.
I'll notify the group that it.
Racha's 300 feet away.
He's going to unclip and like pull out his bag of caltrops and like ready it to like unfurl if he needs to, and like keep it hidden though, like in his like palm it, but so that it doesn't look like he's holding it, and just sort of like peek out from around the corner of like the thing, of the cart, and it's like, everything okay?
She jumps at you starting to speak, and she kind of like readies the sword and like doesn't grab it correctly, ends up cutting her own hand a little bit as she does so. Fuck! And she
Oh
like
dear.
starts to like stand up and skitter and scrambling around for the sword until she finally grabs it, but she can only hold it with one hand because she cut the other hand, so the sword's a little bit too heavy for one hand to hold, so it's like she's trying to hold it up in a defensive stance, but it's starting to like falter, and so she's trying to like use her wrists to hold it up. Get back! I don't have anything for you.
Okay. Hi.
She's kind of trying to her hair out of the way so she can see who's talking to her. Looks like a human girl, probably in the 16-year range. She kind of sees you and lowers the sword a little bit. Hi, you're weird.
Just sort of nods like, fucking weirdos.
Language? I am a lady.
Quite.
She kind of shoves the tip of the sword into the dirt. Well, what's your name, bird? Bless you.
Thank you.
So do you have a name? Oh, that's your name. It's a weird name. My name's Ren.
My name's Ren.
I'm, sorry, I don't have anything for you. I lost everything.
Just sort of like gestures around towards everything, and it's like, hurt people that way. You okay?
She kind of chokes back some tears and tries to be strong. I'm okay. She kind of just lifts the sword out and points the sword to the carriage, the cart, and goes, I just lost everything. And the sword kind of starts to shake and shudder as she points it towards the horse. And Mabel, too.
What happened?
She visibly gets angry and then takes her long sword and she runs back into the road. She goes, this stupid rock! And you see that there's a decent-sized boulder that's like half embedded in the ground, in the pathway, that you can see some bloody scrape marks on. And putting two and two together, I guess the horse crippled itself going over the boulder, and then the cart broke behind it. And she's just going to town with this longsword on this rock.
So for the rest of us, we see Richard disappear, and then
You hear ting, 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 ting.
Ben's gonna start making her way towards it.
Yeah, hearing
Rachel
that.
thinking, the image of it just, he's gonna run up and he's gonna like kick at the rock, like he's trying to help. And the first thing I thought of was Korg in the Thor movie going, "Piss off, ghost."
Not too far off.
But yeah, he's gonna help her out with that.
Okay. So you guys are doing that for a bit before the sounds of approaching horses and people stop her from fighting. Richard, you probably know who it is, so you just continuously curb stomping this rock. And she's like, Wacha! People coming!
My friend.
You guys approach and see her kind of like half holding the sword. Now she's got blisters all over her other hand as well. So she's having a hard time keeping this thing up as you guys approach. And she goes, You friends?
Like looks over towards his group and like holds out his hands to introduce her and is like, "My name's Ren. I am a lady."
Well, he's not wrong.
What happened?
Charlie.
Where?
This stupid rock.
What he said.
I'll get off my horse and walk over to her, like, slowly. But
Yeah, Bryn was gonna follow suit with that.
and if she'll let me, I'll heal her hands.
Okay. After you say that, she's gonna look over to Richard. Richard's probably just gonna nod. And so you give her some healing. It doesn't do as much healing as it would for you guys, but it does start to callus over the blisters. It stops the bleeding on the other hand. It starts getting it into the scarring stage of things.
Can I? You said the horse's brain was affected. Like, if Nori
She
goes
used her
in-
sword and stabbed the horse in the brain. Because,
so it stopped suffering.
yeah.
When did this all happen?
About 4 to 5 hours ago.
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
I don't know if you have Cotton Eye Joe in your repertoire.
I thought I'd sneak it in.
Please.
Unfortunately, no.
Can it be one of Amric's song of his people?
Nope. Amric already has his next song.
We can add it to the repertoire.
Are you headed to Cahill?
No. Protocol.
How far is that from here?
Roughly the same. It's on the beachhead rather than inland.
I mean, we can't leave you out here. It's not safe. But you can travel with us as far as the capital, and then go where you need
I've
to
got to
go
go
after that.
back. I've got nothing to sell, so I need to go back home and tell my parents what happened.
Where is home?
She is from... border town, Galur.
Nori kind of looks to Polly, having no idea what that means.
How far away from? Like, is it the same? Still the same distance?
It was a border town, so it was the town...
Oh,
Yeah, it was a town between 7 and 8. So you're looking at like a day and a half travel back. She just kind of gets up and goes to the cart, pulls out what looks like probably was the cover for her cart. So that way, if it got too sunny, she could cover the casks. She just takes the tarp and puts it over her horse. And staying quiet most of the time. She's like, I gotta go back. You all Have a good time. And
Can
she
I,
starts
like-
walking back.
Can I try and like search through anything, see if there's anything salvageable from this mess, or
That was all she had. She literally had the horse, the cart, and the casks.
Don't know if this is actually going to happen, but how far would it be to fly? How long would that take?
It'd still be a day there, day back. Giant eagle, 80 feet.
I'm gonna pull out my coin whatever pouch and hand her 5 gold pieces and say, "Here, come with us to the capital. Get a ride back so you don't have to walk. And then we'll leave you alone. Send you on your way, whatever. I don't want you to travel on foot all the way back to the border."
She's, as you reach out with the gold, she smiles and she goes, "Thank you, but my parents, they raised me to handle things on my own, and I could use the time going back to figure out how to make this all right. It was my fault that I was even out here. I pushed for them to sell. So, I'll come up with something. I appreciate it, I do. And thank you," she kind of raises her hands, "for the healing. I'm,
How much longer is my spell?
you guys, you probably have half an hour of your third spell before noon.
Because it summons 8 horses, but I've been using just 6, so it didn't. There's not a suspicious 2 other horses. I could recast early and have her at least have an hour ride out of here.
Again, she would say she's fine. She would rather.
Cha just sort of like walks over to her and like stares at her and is like, "Are you a good egg?"
She just laughs at it. I don't know about that, but she goes over and kicks the rock one last time.
He just
Did
sort
she
of
take
like
the money?
No.
she sort of like squints and smiles at it, and he's like, "1 minute." And how big of a rock is it? Like, is it a boulder enough to hide behind?
No. It's
Uh.
large enough and in the road enough to break a cart, break some ankles on the horses, but it's not large enough for even you to hide behind.
All right, then he will take Bryn and Amric and stick them in front of him and hide behind them as he goes into his bag. And he's going to regretfully pull out his project and offer it to her.
Even before that, as you start to rummage around and pull things out, she's gonna kind of come up to both Bryn and Amric and kind of like put her hands between you guys and move you out of the way.
I mean, can she really though?
She's not like if you guys stop her, she's gonna move around you guys, and unless you want to play this game. But she's just kind of like,
No, yeah, she wouldn't actually.
she can
Make her do
tell
that.
he's a good bird, so he's probably trying to give her something, and she's just not how she was raised. And as you start to pull items out, she's just gonna stop, like pat you on the shoulder, and be like, "It's okay."
What damage happened to the cart? Is it something mendable or?
It's not mendable. 2 of the wheels are completely destroyed. It's overall fixable. The cart itself is intact. It's just the wheels that were destroyed, but she also does not have a horse to pull the cart.
As soon as she says it's okay, he'll just be like, "Bah, piss off," and he
Remember,
just
I'm a
starts going
lady.
back. And he's like, I want it back. And he just finishes up putting it all back together.
And she kind of looks at it and goes, well, I don't know what it is, but again, I can't take anything. I can't borrow anything either.
How about trading something? It doesn't look like that sword is made for you. It looks a little big. But I have a short sword that would fit you a lot better.
This is my mom's longsword. I can't get rid of it. I appreciate it. I can usually handle it. I kind of stupid and grab the blade. Don't let me
Little
stop
bit
you
more
guys.
practice.
You guys continue on. I'm gonna start heading back. I appreciate everything. I'm gonna sit here a while before heading back.
Are you okay on food getting back though?
Oh yeah, and she kind of like touches a small satchel she has on her side that looks decently full.
How much
Do I-
would a cart?
I had enough rations to get to Portugal and back.
Do I believe her when she says she can't take things, or does it seem like she's, or does it seem like something's wrong?
Make an insight check. It just seems like she doesn't want to take anything.
What's the average price for one of these carts? Can I have an
For,
idea for that?
for this type of cart, you're looking at 25 gold. Wasn't a huge cart or anything like that. It was literally just enough to hold a few barrels of alcohol.
Mine's gonna pull together 35 gold pieces and this is for your cart and horse. I'm purchasing it off of you.
She kind of deadpan stares at you.
I won't take no for an answer.
Then you're going to be leaving your gold on the street.
Yeah, respect her wishes. She
Can I
just
sneak
wants to take
35 gold into her pouch?
Which pouch?
it. I will not stop
She's got
him from sneaking.
she's got a food pouch. She's got what looks to be a dagger sheath and her longsword sheath.
Is she wearing boots?
No. Cloth shoes.
Does she look super awkward, like holding the longsword? it's
Now
just-
that her hand's healed, not anymore. It was just that she got startled and accidentally grabbed the blade. She nat 1'd on her dex save, so.
I will go for the food pouch then, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead and do a sleight of hand check. Do a disadvantage because there is a clasp on it. You start to get to it and realize that it's clasped shut, so you start to slide the clasp out, and you just feel a little hand just tap the top of your hand. She's just looking at you.
He's just gonna deadpan stare at her and continue to move his hand into
She's
her
just gonna,
pouch.
she's gonna take a couple steps to the side and start stepping back away from you guys. Again, I appreciate your forced friendship.
Mary will climb on her horse.
Well, please make sure that
The
you get
dead
home
boy,
safely.
the dead horse.
On hers.
Oh, on Nori's horse.
Not
I
the
thought you were
dead
saying,
horse.
I thought you were saying Ren's horse.
No.
And Nori clambers on top of the dead horse.
Yes.
We're
the
not all
drum.
your friends.
Nori just starts like cutting open the horse. Like, can't leave good meat behind. Remember that, folks. Take care of your animals.
No, Nora does the druid version of clerics and starts chopping off the head.
Oh yeah, I
can talk to this later.
In this case, it's brutal and not efficient.
That's what you get when you use a quarterstaff for decapitation.
I have a scimitar.
Okay, so but would you use it?
She's grinding then. She's
seesawing. I would not use it. No, absolutely not.
Well, Racha will give up then and be like, fine. Can I see you again sometime?
She kind of like walks back over to the boulder and sits down next to it. And just starts like jamming her sword, the tip of her sword, around the edges of the rock.
I'll get on my horse and go.
Yeah, Monsieur Evan Galar.
Is she trying to get the rock out?
She's pissed at the rock.
Alright, she's just swinging away at it again?
No, she's digging it out. She said she was going to sit here for a while.
Alright, fine.
Okay.
Flick a gold coin at her face.
She's like looking down at the rock and it kind of like pings off the top of her head. Ow!
That's for us intruding on your time. So, look, earned.
Give me a bruise.
Well, it's his aim, apparently.
She kind of like just takes it and stuffs it in.
Bye, I love you.
She just kind of looks. Bye. You guys are okay.
That's fair.
Us forcefully trying to help her in any way we can, but she will just keep denying us.
She's a 16-year-old girl. Come on.
Shut up and take my money. No! Okay.
She was raised into being adamant, so it's all good.
All right. And you guys continue on. Eventually making it to Cahill. As far as capital cities go, right around the middle in terms of size. Though a lot of District 8 has to do with the ocean and some of the seaside stuff. The capital city not being too far, but not being too inland, kind of like District 7's is very much inland. It's kind of got a half and half feel as far as what you guys have encountered so far. When it comes to a city, it being very much ocean-based, like a lot of fish and a lot of the shops kind of catering towards the fishing side of things. There are a lot of shops that do that, and it's almost kind of split down the middle city-wise of east and west, where the west side has a lot of the fishing, a lot of the supplies, food intake, and a lot of the trade to the coast and back. The east is much more blacksmithing, carpentry, a lot more of the industrial side of civilization is in this city on the east side. And those that can get bird's eye views, funny enough, is not the bird, but as Nori, if you would want to get a bird's eye view of the town, you would almost see an architecture shift as well between east and west. So probably this city was at first constructed one or the other, and then maybe after the takeover or as this city became the actual capital city, and it expanded either east or west, and then the architecture changed. So on the west side, it's much more lighter wood colors, more of an airy demeanor and open aesthetic, whereas the right side is much more darker woods, sort of like colonial architecture and a lot more rigid in designage. But nevertheless, you have made it to Cahill. And unfortunately, this is not where the world's largest ball of twine is. Or the left shoe.
Is it at least a mid-sized left shoe?
There are some tall people here, so you get some decently large left shoes if you...
We'll wait until we get to the Goliaths. It'll be fine.
But you guys have made it into the city. You guys can shop, stay overnight, do whatever you'd like here, or we can just continue on with the next leg of the journey.
Quick question: is there like a I know taverns are usually spread out around the city or something, but is there like a main area in this city where there's like more than one tavern?
More than one tavern? Yeah. It'd be on the west side.
Okay. I hate to delay us any more than we already are, but can I move over there and cast Locate Creature?
Okay.
I'm looking for Jacques.
All right. Casting it and searching out. Unfortunately, you do not find any Jacques.
Just thought I'd try. He said he was going to be here, but I didn't know how long.
Okay. That could have been done towards the end of the day. You guys got to Cahill decently later on in the day, so you'd use the next day for traveling. So it doesn't slow you down at all. But anybody want to do anything this time?
Do they have a magic shop here?
They do.
Warren would like to check that out, see if there's anything interesting in this shop.
The same exact stuff as the last magic shop.
Not bad.
This one's called the Aggressive Elemental.
Do they have any of those recording beads or the recording beans
Yeah.
here? Warren wants to pick up like 5 of them.
Easy enough to do. 5 of them would be 2.5 gold.
Nori never did give her 2 to go try.
I meant to when everyone was giving gifts, and then my brother was having a fit.
It's all good.
I almost want to retcon it.
Nope, he held on to the beans. Nori
It's okay.
in-game
He was
also
busy
forgot.
doing. He was busy doing something else, so you wouldn't have seen him.
Okay. Anybody else?
Bryn wants to look at the blacksmith people and such.
All right.
Just see what they got.
Yeah. As far as magically wise, not a whole lot. That'd be the magic shop stuff. But as far as the regular armors and weapons, they have a whole cadre of pretty much anything that you would need or could imagine that's non-magical.
That's too many things.
Yeah, they've got half plate, full plate, scale mail, chain mail. Anything that's a lot of metal, they got. Halberds,
Is this
glaives,
your
long swords, the whole 9. And 10.
Do they ever?
Go ahead, Kaporan.
Like, does District 8 have like a specialty of theirs? Like how?
Yeah, the coastal stuff. Because they have that
Let's
little.
go eat some seafood.
They have that little hook on the on their lands. It makes this district was one of the few, and actually Polly has been there, that has one of the cities from before the takeover completely still just as it was. It's one of the few towns or cities in all of Ixia that aren't cookie cutter because it's from before the takeover. And everything that's connected with that as far as ocean goes. So it has its own trade, its own livelihood from that.
And how far away is the water?
From where you guys are, about a little over a day's horse travel.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
As far as Amber goes, if we're spending the night, he'll just take the night to work on this project.
All right. Go ahead and roll performance. Actually, sorry, for you it's Dex.
This whole thing is gonna dominate his time for a while.
Does he get proficiency since he's proficient in woodcarver's tools?
For Amric? If he's proficient in it, yeah. If he has the tools, yeah.
What's my bonus? 22 total.
All right. You get over the 4 days of traveling plus the night, I'd say you get one of them done. Let you decide which one gets done.
I'll just be doing them in order since by the time we get there, if we don't have all of them complete, I'll be telling the story in orders as far as I'll be able to with the statuettes I have.
Gotcha.
Warren work on his projects too while traveling.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check.
Oh, Bryn wants to get her own flask. She wants to be like Polly. Only one.
Do you want a full metal flask or do you want a leather and metal flask?
Didn't know there was an option. But I mean, what does
Welcome to the
leather
flask
one do?
game.
Yeah.
The leather allows for
She
grip.
would get Polly's opinion. How about that?
Well, there you
Polly,
go.
which one would
Go
be
for
better?
style, baby.
Okay. Well, you're going with Polly's suggestion.
Are you getting one made or are you just going to go buy one?
So many options. If it's gonna take too long, she'd just get one that's
What I'd
ready.
say, buy one
Custom
now,
engraving.
Oh, you
and
can.
then go
Yeah,
ahead.
you can buy a basic one and then have it done overnight and then pick it up in the morning.
yeah, I'd say buy a basic one for now, and then when we get to Solbrun, my dad can make you one, like a cool one.
Okay, then. I'll do that.
All right,
That
so
sounds cool.
for a regular metal flask, that is 2 gold.
The deck's not a performance check.
It's going to be a dex check because you're doing stuff with your fingers as far as sewing and making sure things are correct. Performance is performing.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, you don't get one done. You're still working on one. You didn't destroy anything. It's just taking longer.
And Nori is
We're making
increasing her
progress.
mental map.
All I heard was Nori was losing her mental map.
Nori is increasing her mental map. Just flying,
losing her
looking
mind,
around.
got it.
Yes, I'm losing my mind. No, that's just me. Just me as the person.
I can just imagine like Assassin's Creed style mapping for
Get to the
Nori,
tallest point. Leap of faith.
and she just sits there and takes a leap of faith. Yes, and then the hawk shows her everything.
Okay. So, go ahead, Richard.
Sorry, with the time, I lost track of what I was going to do, but I was going to do something. It was so these liquid drugs. can I coat them on my needles, or is that not a thing?
It is not a thing. They're too liquidy. They do not coat. They're not viscous
Gotcha.
enough.
I understand. Can I treat them in some sort of way using alchemy supplies of some sort? These are my first experiments. Hopefully, I don't make a meth bomb, but I'm gonna. I'll I'll be a little bit out of town, probably a
Okay.
little like 100 yards away, and I'll just be like experimenting with a little table of alchemy supplies, seeing
Okay.
if I can like figure out. I guess the way I would do it first would be to distill it to see if I can figure out the components or something, rather than seeing if I can turn it into weaponize it in a way.
All right. So how much of the liquid did you have again?
I don't know. You just told me.
Well, the first amount of drugs you bought were the liquid. The second amount were powder.
It would have been
I think it was 10 gold and then 15 gold.
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so as far as the liquid goes, you have what it would amount to 2 doses. And then the powder stuff, you have what would amount to 3 doses. So if you want to use a dose of the liquid stuff to try and distill it and see if you can figure out something about this.
Yeah, he'd at least try one of both, the powder and the liquid, to try and see if he could figure out how to make the stuff.
Okay. So using your alchemy supplies and doing a couple different tests for the liquid one, go ahead and roll an intelligence check. And then for the powder one, same thing. So the liquid one, as you kind of heat it up and try to distill the different parts out of it, it ends up evaporating pretty much all together, leaving an interesting smell in the air that you immediately start to cover your mouth and nose, but not affecting you and kind of just ultimately all burning away pretty quickly. The powder stuff, you are able to add a little bit of water, kind of mix it all together, and then start to dry it out and work it out. And you end up getting these little black and gray clumps that seem to form out of powder. At first you think, oh, I'm burning it. But you then start to see, though the powder is like kind of all there, only these little clumps are sort of activating. The rest of the powder starts, and it looks and smells completely different. These clumps aren't burnt. They get to a certain point where they're hot and they stay and they don't burn. So you're guessing this is probably like the active stuff in whatever this powder was, and like liquidized it and then started burning it away. It all kind of just coagulated together.
I've concentrated
Yes,
it.
you basically have concentrated this drug. Work twice as fast, but half as long.
Do I get any sort of sense of like what it would do?
Nope. No way to find that out.
Right? He doesn't want to do that though. He kind of does, but he doesn't want to.
That's Barrick coming in the background.
Exactly. This is flashbacks and trauma for me.
This is player PT.
Yeah, so he'll take the little beads and sort of like keep them a little from the rest of
little
the
plastic
stuff.
baggie, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he'll sell them as pills later. Who knows? But he'll sort of We'll take the other liquid one, and seeing that it evaporated so much, like what color liquid is it? Or is it clear water?
Blue.
Man, that just makes me think it is meth. Yeah,
The
he's
powder's
not.
pink.
Oh man, he's gonna. No, he's not gonna do. Never mind. We'll leave it at that.
He's gonna mix them together.
Yep, that was what I was considering. It was like with just water. What does it do with the other liquid? But I'd rather not explode today. So
In there.
just accidentally creates like.
All right.
He sets the city ablaze.
Burns down the forest. California. All right. So you are down to 1 liquid dose, 2 regular powder, and 1 concentrated powder. Okay. So, night is had. If you guys are getting rooms inside for the entire group, 3 at 3 gold apiece.
Whoever's staying with me right now.
We'll make it Amric since he's not here.
Wild brothers are rooming together.
Yep.
Oh no.
How does that always happen?
Kaporin and these little beads get pushed underneath his tongue. He wakes up and Rachel is nowhere to be seen.
What's the place where?
A nice long conversation with his friend.
I was actually approach you about that. It'd be like,
Want to
you
try?
need to be in. I need to be in an altered state.
Uh, as he pulls up a pink powder.
What a lovely color. What is it, Richaw?
That will really fuck some shit up.
Interesting. Is it beef?
Just sort of shrugs, probably.
What? I don't know. Hold on. Roll for this. Yeah, do the drug. He's not touching the drugs. Well, thank you for your offer. I've had enough. The drugs, especially night.
Rachel, go ahead and roll persuade. And
Strap you down.
Kapoor, and yours is insight. This is how you
Okay.
dictate this time.
I am not a convincing bird.
I convinced you to take the drug.
So Rachel is literally standing there, like, probably strap you down. And you're just like, doesn't know shit about this powder.
Just to keep him safe, like stick a wallet in his mouth and keep him stuck.
Keep a in his mouth, tie him down, turn him sideways so he doesn't.
You have the most poetic roles I have ever seen.
It doesn't come when we need it or when I want it. It's just hilarious. Horns are like, I think they do with it does with being poisoned, and I'm sure Nori may be able to do a minor sedative for me, or maybe even alcohol might do it. I don't trust the powder you have on you currently.
Quid?
Yeah,
I got I got two things.
Persuasion and I would love
We're gonna do this.
if it flips. The liquid looks a little bit better. Still Racha trying to give it to you. Drug dealers are sketchy in general. A drug dealer is even more sketchy.
He's just waving these things like, here, take it. You want it? Take it. Take it, yeah. It's like, I'm thinking, I'm good. I might just go ask something strong at the bar and retire to the room.
Actually doing it. He does nods.
You're good. I was like, yes, well, has gone through some interesting phases, and I feel like if I have a way to Luke, I should attempt it.
Racha
Jam
holds
this
his
in my
baggies.
neck. He's like, do it. And then he's gonna go, jam this in my neck.
I'm still not taking.
It was
and
your
the
drug.
But that was for cease, not for recreational.
2 + 2, I figure water. Sober.
It wouldn't be the same effect. I don't draw, but
If it would be.
we're gonna just.
Is my logic is sound. This is the same as being drunk, and he will pull you out of your drunk if Luke's bothering you too much.
So Racha will be backpacking you the entire time with the needle dangerously close to your fire.
He is ready, just plungers pulled.
One nat one away from disaster.
He's like epipenning this. He's like, for it.
Like the entire time, I probably wouldn't even notice that Richard's there. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna go do this.
Nope, you don't know he's.
One just goes through his evening and
Racha
goes
just
by.
sit, like the two spots between the vertebrae in his neck.
Like, I'm just imagining like straddling his shoulders. I'm here, just like.
No one sees you.
Racha's like dead eye directly like between the two cells in which he this plunger into. Just say the word.
But Kaporn would be trying to buy a strong bottle of alcohol. He could probably take up with him to the room.
Okay.
Did anybody say my safe word is such and such?
No.
I feel like we've. Who needs a safe word?
So, because you were buying drinks, everyone was at the club doing things in the bathroom. So, you go get a bottle we have on tap or on purchase for tonight. Nice. Duh.
That's what the doctor ordered, or that's what. So
I just looked behind me at the bottles I have on the counter, and I'm like, all right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, Patron.
Rick and Nori are not there, right? We can't see any. Just
You guys are
making
in your
sure.
own room.
No throw up your bread. Wonderful.
Yeah,
You
we
guys
were
aren't
chilling
even
in
side
our.
by side rooms. You guys are all on different floors, and of course, you guys are at the top because you're like, we don't want to.
Are we on the bottom so we don't have to climb that high?
Yep.
Wouldn't Frichal want to be in the higher one though?
He'd want to be on the top. Doesn't really matter if he's high on the inside.
I on the.
No, he tried offering that to you, and you.
Try to get someone else high on the inside.
So you go down, you buy your, which is going to cost you 7 gold. Back up to the room, and there is no Racha.
Thought the bird was here, but I guess he must have run off somewhere.
I feel like
Well-
like start reaching for his back now, like patting to see
I'm
if
just
Rashad's-
like
and yeah,
ninja
Rashad's
dodging.
dodging.
Yeah, ninja dodging it every time.
Kaporan goes to look behind, skitters to his front.
Just like patting.
He does resist the urge. I will not spike the Patron. I promise.
I feel like I attended for a second, and I turn around.
Not even. I just
Yeah.
like dropped the little bead into the
It's
into
got
the
a
bottle.
slight pink tint to it now.
Like as I take the swig, it just falls into my mouth as I lift it.
Constitution saving throw.
This is without the drugs, by the way. I'm not
Yes,
actually
I
doing it. All right.
Unless nothing happens. But no, pretty much 5 shots in. Kaporan is a loosey-goosey bird.
Ooh.
Rachad's even getting like a little see the amount of side-to-side motion that is happening. But you drink on and continue drinking until you start to get to the such slurred and stage. Anything? Don't hear it. Rachad, you're starting to leave like sweat marks in his shirt and stuff as you've been holding on.
I'm trying to. I mean, at that point, you would attempt to try to finish the bottle.
Okay, give me another con save. You start to drink a little bit more. You take like another full stand there. Rachad, you're like, is he seeing it? Then Kapoor then proceeds all over what was going to be your bed, Rachad. And then immediately starts to fall backwards. Make a dex save, Rachad. You don't get out in time as Kaporan falls backwards, squishing you and passing out
Kaporan, just a cuddle, it's fine.
with his back.
I know you said it before.
You just want a big spoon.
Rachad allows it.
Okay. You going to sleep there, Rachad?
Just like curls up like he's a pillow.
They're gonna wake up in so much pain.
With that, the night comes to a close. And the next everyone starts to wake up in various situations. Kapoor and Rachad, you guys wake up sore, tired, reeking like alcohol. And Kapoor underneath Rachad, your feathers are just wherever Kapoor was laying on you, just all fucked up.
Rush the pretty bird. Rush the pretty bird.
Business or pleasure?
You just hear from behind you, Kapoor, as you wake up.
What was that? Wait, what? And turns his head around.
Feel the tip of a short sword in your back.
Richard? Was that you?
I feel like
Wonderful companion for the journey.
Oh, it is you.
maybe
Why am
it's
I
a
on the
short
floor?
sword, maybe it's something else.
I don't-
Is that your short sword, or are you just happy to see me?
The quiver.
His beak, like just pressed up, like the edge of his beak pressed up against my back.
I'd be more worried of what his beak's doing down there.
I'm worried. I'm worried with it. How did I end up on the floor, Richa? I just. Why didn't we sleep in the beds?
as you sit up and see that one bed is just soaked in vomit.
Oh, so my experiment went like that last night.
And then you turn around and see like half of Rachaw's feathers smushed and flayed out in random directions. He stands up. He looks like half as wide because all of his feathers on his right side have been smushed.
It's like a dog that's been sleeping too long on one side.
What happened to your feathers, Racha?
He like thinks long, but I feel like he doesn't want to make you think like something happened. Ooh, we don't want you getting fat.
What was that last word?
Fat.
Oh, okay. Still doesn't explain all your feathers, Racha, but I don't think I want to know what you did last night. I don't remember seeing you after I came back to the room anyway.
All your fault.
I caused your feathers?
No, never you mind.
Warren just looks at Racha confused. He's like, okay. Still kind of has a headache probably from trying to chug that bottle of tequila, but
Talk to Luke.
no, I don't believe I did talk to him last night. It didn't work properly, or maybe it was when contemplating the drugs now. Maybe it does have to be a certain situation, not just me getting drunk.
Next time. And he just sort of nods.
We'll try something else next time. Yes. Maybe Nori will have an idea for this.
Alright.
I technically do have the spell stocked.
So, as you guys all eventually get down to breakfast, two of your party getting there a little bit later than everybody else, looking very disheveled in all senses of the word, as well as a very strong aroma wafting off them. They eventually greet you guys downstairs. There is bacon here, just in case.
Or has an empty stomach, he's going to town.
I don't even want to know.
Make a con save, Kaboran.
Nori's comment, Racha's just like, quite.
But
Or hold on his.
yeah, you're good. Breakfast had. You guys can either stay in the town and do stuff, or continue on with your journey.
Shall we get going?
Onward and northward. Or north, east.
Yeah, that.
All right. As you guys end up leaving the inn and start traveling towards through the center of town, because the inn's closer to the southwest. Heading closer towards the middle of town, passing through, just taking the scenic route to see if there's any, store or something that calls out to you at the last second. You guys end up passing by a familiar-looking girl as she's standing in front of the tavern with an entire cart, 2 horses, and are currently loading looks to be barrels on the back of the cart. And she seems to be giving directions to about 4 or 5 different gentlemen who are helping her currently. As Ren stands there, looking like a boss bitch.
Does she see us, or is she just kind of doing her own thing?
She's just doing her own thing currently.
Brian or Rachel might want to say something, but he's currently dealing with a dog issue right now.
Or like just speaking loud like usual. It's like, is that Ren?
Yes, and it seems as though she's doing well for herself.
How long has it been since we left her?
A couple hours. Yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, even if she was to coming here, I don't really blame her for not wanting to travel with 6 strangers.
How did One's kind of confused. Like, where did she get the cart from?
She said she was going back to her family, and she could have run into other people along the way.
Yeah, but she would have had to come straight here after we left her to be here right now.
She did stay in that one spot for the platform. I don't know.
Ren has like a twin or something. The twin made it, but the other Ren didn't.
Well, she seems alright to me. Not really much of our business.
Nope. We've got places to be.
Is she gonna be like the cabbage guy in the Avatar thing? Where, like every place we go, she just shows up with bottle or like the casks of whatever.
But every time you run into her, they're somehow broken or something went wrong.
Sorry about that. There was an incident.
Dogs like to hump things, it's fine.
But I hear Ren is around.
Yes, as you guys are traveling through the town, heading towards the northeastern exit of the city itself, you guys have passed by in front of one of the main tavern of the city, and Ren is currently with a new cart, 2 horses, and instructing and delegating the 4 to 5 gentlemen who are currently helping her load barrels onto the back of the cart.
I am a lady. It just sort of like point at her. Yeah, just point at her and go, I am a lady.
So you just staying away doing it or going up to her?
Yeah, going up to her. She probably doesn't notice me come up to her though.
Yeah, she's a little bit preoccupied. And she looks more put together now. Her hair is kind of pulled back into like a decently high ponytail. It seems that her hands are bandaged. Her clothes seem to be changed out at least. Not super fine material or anything, but she's at least gotten a change of clothes and she's cleaned up a bit. Hi. Oh, hold on. Your name was hard to remember. Whipash?
Close enough.
All right.
Galar? That was what it was called, the city?
Galar.
Glar?
Oh, I ran into a bit of good fortune before I ended up making it back home. Remember that rock that was in the road?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I finally dug it up. You wouldn't believe what was underneath it.
Huh.
I guess the commander had put that rock there to see if anyone would actually remove it or if everyone would just go around it. And there was a note, and when I read the note out loud, this interesting guy just appeared out of nowhere. And he told me that Commander set it up to see if anyone would actually take the time to remove it themselves to benefit everyone else, or if it would just get dodged. And, well, he handed me this bag, and she pulls out this little bag that's reminiscent of your coin purse, Richaw. And he gave it to me and said there's 50,000 gold in it. He said that it's connected to me and only me, so only I can pull it out. And if anyone tries to, that he'll get summoned. He's pretty big. I wouldn't want to get on his bad side, but I'm gonna replace everything I lost and go back to my parents and see if we can move them into one of the cities and get a brewery going.
Wonderful.
I know, right? Still miss Mabel, but no death is worth this. No matter how trivial some people may see certain animals and whatnot. Every life is precious, so I still don't think it was quite worth it, but I hope she knows at least it came with some bit of good.
Shaw just sort of nods. Is like, I lose any one of my crew, it's like losing a brother.
Well, you got a couple girls there too, so maybe sisters?
The flak.
What's a deflak?
Puts his hands together and like interlaces his fingers as like family.
Oh, the flock. You said it so fast, I thought it was some weird word.
I'm sorry, my sentiments are not the same.
She just smiles and kind of like yells over your shoulder like, "Hey, watch it! Safely! You're gonna break the spout." Oh, it's like these guys have never loaded empty barrels before. You take care, Lepash.
How?
That seems like a personal question.
I give her a hug.
Nope. And she kind of like upper hugs you.
I am a lady.
And don't you forget it.
And then he'll like turn around to the guys messing up the barrels and like, piss off.
No, finish your job. Finish
And
your
then
job.
just go running off.
And as you're running, just don't listen to him. Okay. Yes. Larger one's at the bottom. There you go. Okay. So eventually you get back to the group. And you guys continue on your journey up to the northeastern end of the city. Who wants to do the next D10?
I want to offer. But should I?
Nori does. Nope, Caparan got it.
Oh, we've already gone through it once, so everything gets flipped upside down. Alright. Okay. So your next leg of the journey to the next capital city. Of Zydra. Zydra. Roughly, as far as you guys have garnered it should take you about 10 days worth of travel. Unfortunately, as you guys are traveling, a decently high, what you guys would be considered a windstorm cuts through you guys, just short of tornado. Winds kick up into the 80 to 100 mile an hour winds, blowing hard from east to west. So almost being directly in your guys' path. This happens about the 5th day, about halfway through. You guys currently aren't quite into the tundra region yet, so it's not as cold as it could be, but it's still decently... It's a frightening aspect for as you guys are starting to move closer and closer towards the winter season, the cold season, that if this wasn't the cold season or you guys were decently more north, this would probably be hell. It's still enough to slow you guys down, and the storm spans 2 days. So making your 10-day trip a 13-day trip. But after a few days, it does let up and allow you guys to travel forthward, and eventually you guys make your way to the capital city. Zydra is on the smaller side as far as capital cities go. District 1 itself does a lot of ice work, transporting, gathering. They pull from the ice sheets, very much Frozen-esque, where they get the ice blocks and take them back to the towns. But they transport them all through the upper districts as well as into District 8 and 6. Now that magic is a thing, they've actually been able to expand and stop the melting process, so now they're starting to send ice blocks down to District 7 and District 4, as the ice can last a little bit longer. But that is their main thing that they are known for, as well as for timber, for log cutting to send to District 8, which takes care of a lot of the manufacturing process of wood. So,
How cold is it?
well, you guys are on the southern end of District 1. So, for you guys, it's probably on a normal day in the fall, 40 to 50.
We should probably pick up some warmer clothes.
This won't affect anything now, but for future reference, since Amric has cold resistance, how much does that shield him from environmental factors like this?
Doesn't really bother you. I mean, for you, once it starts to get to like 20 degrees, then it starts to get annoying. Whereas, like, the more tropical people of the group are like, "Ooh, let's start getting coats on. Let's start bundling up." You're like t-shirt, like tank top and shorts up until 20 degrees, and then you're like, maybe I'll put pants on. You're Canadian, basically.
I mean, so Bryn doesn't technically have cold resistance, but she grew up in the freaking ice sheet. So
Yeah.
how does that play into this?
It's like you were Canadian.
I'm a transplant.
And then you moved to America. You moved to like Midwest. So where it gets cold eventually, and you're kind of like, oh, this brings me back. But then you like go and visit family, and you're like, fuck, it was cold up here. Shit. But then like your brothers and sisters are wearing t-shirt and shorts at 35-degree weather, and you're like starting to put a vest on and starting to put on like the second layer of socks.
They're gonna make fun of me because I'm putting on clothes when
Exactly.
they're like, "What the hell are you doing?" Okay.
So you're
Rory will happily be wearing fluffy things.
very much you can handle cold, but when it starts to get too long dealing with cold, that's when you're like, you know what, fuck this. And also with the way that Lingvi's made underneath the ice, I don't know if you guys have ever been in like igloos, but when you start to create that barrier, you can heat the inside, and it doesn't feel anywhere near as bad. So it's kind of that thing where, like, yeah, you dealt with the cold a lot, and overall it was a colder atmosphere, but you guys kept it pretty warm in there. Especially it being magical ice, you guys could crank up the heat as much as you wanted to and not have to worry about anything.
Do Rachaz's feathers allow him to be in his BDSM wear?
It's starting to get cold enough where chafage is happening.
Gotcha. He'll put on his traveling clothes.
Have you been in BDSM wear this entire time?
No one's really asked him after since the wedding. He's just sort of chilled in it.
I thought you were in normal clothes.
I was waiting for Kaporan to ask if he woke up to you in BDSM wear, and it never happened.
I think Corn's just so used to seeing it. I don't think he would have associated it with that same situation.
There's been a singular time when somebody said Rachaz wearing sex gear or something like that, and I said, huh, to it, and nobody addressed it.
I think it was me.
The great thing being a Kanku is that we could literally take you to school and no one would question it. Because you're already a weird bird walking thing.
And to be fair, with his black feathers and everything, it just looks like 2 silver circles around where a nipple would be.
And then just leather straps everywhere else.
Yeah, and it's black leather, so it blends in with the feathers. So it's literally just these 2 silver rings around the place where nipples would be on a Duragar.
He does have a cape though, so he can. He's got his like vibrantly red and purple cape.
And
As Rachad
Corn's
does.
walking all by him.
Kaporan has taken all of Rachad's fashion advice. But yeah, those silver rings end up starting to attract some cold and leaving some icicles off where the nipples would be, so you eventually change out of it.
Fine.
But you guys are in the capital city.
I'd like to say, if it's possible to go back, during the traveling days when we weren't dealing with the storm, Amric is devoting all of his extra time to teaching Kaporan the first song. Because since he has no reason to believe that you didn't enjoy it, he needs to make sure that you know how to play it.
Especially during the 2 days of hunkered down. It's nothing but, I love you, bitch.
I like to imagine Nori has like stone shape permanently stopped, so like we made a little cave thing and we're stuck there listening to this for hours.
When it just got too cold to bear, Corn threw up the bubble.
Amric, that performance check roughly matches what that song is.
Yeah, that's it seems pretty on brand.
Kaporan, you pick it up pretty quickly.
So I make it sound a little better.
You make it sound exactly like you heard it.
I think if you roll higher than a 10 while doing a song from Amric's tribe, you failed.
Yeah, pretty much the entire day is like you try to make it prettier, and he's like, no. It's like, God, I thought you were good at this. Like, do it like I... And then he just does it, and then you're just like, do-do-do-do-do, I'm loving you, bitch. And he's like,
You know, it's hard, and Capoin can't technically roll lower than a 13 or 14 actually. So it will always be him attempting to make it sound better, no matter how Amric plays it for him.
Better is a subjective word.
Into Capoin's ears better.
All right, but you guys eventually are making it to the town of Zidra. Anything you guys would want to do here?
Buy warmer clothes.
Easy enough to do. 2 gold per person.
I need to pick up a bottle of something nice for my mom.
Do you remember what liquor she liked? Pull up her list.
Brandy.
Brandy, that's correct. All right. Zidra. They have fire brandy here.
Perfect.
It's going to be 20 gold a bottle. Bless.
Is there anything else that your family likes, Polly?
Sorry, I just got a sneezing fit. I mean, my dad just likes to drink, period. My mom hides the good stuff from him most of the time. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, my mom kind of, I don't know, she dresses up sometimes, but not a lot. When she has to impress somebody, but
I just don't really want to walk in empty-handed for them.
oh, this will be fine. They'll be fine with just this. No big
But you're their son.
I mean, I can give it to you, and you can give it to them.
She'll give you 10 gold. So she feels better about it.
Shaw like perks up at that idea and goes running off to go buy some stuff.
Anything in particular?
Materials to make a beer funnel.
$2 silver and you got it.
Awesome.
Is there a magic shop in here that sells the Ring of Warmth?
No, there's no magic shop here. Rickshaw, since they don't have rubber or plastic, you have the options of either wood or treated intestine for the tube portion of it.
For the tube, if it's wooden, is it like bamboo or it's like flexible or something?
Yeah, it's like
or?
reed.
Okay. Yeah, he'll probably do that then.
Okay. So, anybody else in this town before you guys head out?
I suppose Amber's gonna go with Nori, and while she's buying like the thick sheep clothing for winter, he's gonna buy like a really light jacket and some joggers or something, or the equivalent.
So, windbreaker
Yeah, pretty just
and some Under Armour leggings.
yeah, just something to, just in case.
It gets a little chilly.
Yeah. I can put these on if it gets to negative degrees.
I'm envious of your ability to deal with cold.
It'd be another 2 silver for those clothes for you, Amric. For your insulated clothes, Nori, did I tell you your price already? 2 gold, right? Yeah. Okay.
I already subtracted it and added to my inventory.
Anyone else who wants to get insulated clothes, it's 2 gold as well.
Yeah, Rich, I'll grab him.
Alright, just is it a custom item we should make, or is that just the clothing of warmth or clothing?
It's just
Weather.
it's just clothes, extra pair of clothes, so you can Let's put another pair in. You can asterisk and say warm. All right. Anything else before you guys leave? All right.
Anything else interesting in the town?
Did we find the left shoe?
No, I'm sorry. The left shoe does not reside here.
We
Did we
find
find
an
the
icy
left
stall.
spiky shoe?
What was that, Ollie?
We find an icy stand.
Shaved ice? No. I mean, this town does have, the city does have some stuff. It's one of the smaller ones, but it'd still take a while for you guys to traverse and everything. It doesn't have a magic shop, but it's got a lot of interesting tools that's mainly like used for the ice harvesting. This one's a little bit more adventurer geared, so things that adventure gear wise that might be a little bit harder to find in other cities or towns would have a more plethora array of it here.
Ooh, that. If we're in a shop that is that kind of gear, can Racha get a grappling hook for no apparent reason?
Yeah.
He will take that.
Like he couldn't run upside of buildings on his own already.
It's not for going up buildings. It's going across crevices.
I've been waiting for the day I can cast Spider Climb on Rickshaw.
Yeah, grappling
we
hook
do that?
is 2 gold.
What?
Grappling hook is 2 gold.
No, Perrin said something.
We cast Spider Walk on someone recently.
It was Aemric, so he could walk on ceilings.
Yeah, when we were falling down a 600-foot cliff.
That was wild.
All right. So with that, you guys have about another 4 days journey to Solbrun. Who wants to make this D10?
Nori does.
Yes, she does. Go for it. And you're all dead.
Oh God, why?
Yeah, I mean,
On
if anything,
point,
you volunteered me.
All right. So you guys travel, and at one point, beginning of the second day, the clouds start to hang low over, and you guys think, oh crap, is this going to be another storm? Is this going to be another wind situation? But it just seems to stay overcast. And by the end of the day, it clears up, and you guys continue on without any impediments weather-wise to your journey. Eventually, coming to the western side of Solbrun, and seeing a large body of water. And Polly gesturing you guys towards the southern side of it, to go through the southern entrances into Solbrun. Solbrun, one of the bigger capital cities, in the top 3. And you see what looks to be, just from the outside alone, the academy area seems to be cliffside to this little lake that's here, and raised up a little bit above the rest of the town, or the rest of the city. But it expands decently far out and kind of has a decent bit of height to it as far as architecture goes. But you guys pull up to the southern gates.
The day before, as we were traveling, I would have sent to my mom and let her know that we were almost there.
Okay. She said she would. Waiting to see you, and we'll have supper ready.
They live like a couple blocks away from the southern gate, right?
If you remember the map that I sent you, there's 2 southern gates. They live towards the eastern one. The one that you're going to come up is closer to Kurmarsh's
Okay.
abode.
Okay. I will actually send a message to Eartha Marsh as well, letting him know that we're going to be in town.
And you get about 5 messages back. as he burns all of his sendings to you. But nevertheless, you guys start to approach, seeing the city of Solbrun kind of splayed out. You guys are, because the lake extends a little bit further than the wall ends that surrounds the city. So you guys have to go all the way around the lake and kind of make this bigger loop to finally start heading towards the outer wall of Solbrun. But as you guys are about maybe half hour out, you guys start to see off in the distance towards the city small puffs of fire and smoke, just expanding and then disappearing, expanding and then you're starting to see some smoke trails that continue on after these little explosions have ended. They're happening roughly quarter-mile long, all up and down the wall itself. Some much bigger in explosion than others. And as you guys get a little bit closer, you're starting to hear the sounds of the explosions. Though still distant, it's too far away to see what's happening. You just see a bunch of these little explosions all around the wall.
Are they like fireballs of explosion, or?
Well, as far as you know, I mean, you guys have seen different types of explosions. They're not as spherical as Fireball is, and Fireball doesn't leave a smoke residue in the back and past it. This is, so you're thinking this is not like a bunch of wizards casting Fireball. This is some sort of like man-made explosive.
Polly, or Richard looks towards Polly and is just like, everything okay?
I honestly don't know. I've never seen that before. I mean, my parents would have told me if something was up.
Should we go a little faster?
Yeah, let's do that.
Tally-ho then.
Okay, so you guys start picking up pace in the direction of the explosions. Got it. As you guys get closer and closer and closer, more and more of these explosions are popping off. The plumes of smoke that continue of something burning continue on, getting thicker and darker, staying pretty much black the entire time. You're seeing the explosions not only on the ground level, but also up in the air as well. Not too high up, 30 feet max probably, which as you guys are coming in visibly on a different scale height-wise compared to what you had initially seen. You guys are now about 10 minutes out. You guys want to continue on?
Yeah.
We start prepping some spells or something.
And just so you know, that these explosions are in between you and the city.
Do you want me to fly ahead and see what's up?
Yeah, if you would.
Nor will wild.
Screw up the horses?
No. They'll stay up. Let's see. Can Nori wild shape into something that would be native to here? I've definitely seen birds around.
And asking Polly to tell you that ravens are pretty common here.
Nori will turn into a raven and fly ahead.
All right.
Me with you.
I'm a little too small.
So, flying up and flying ahead, probably staying high enough out of danger. But close enough to where you can actually make out details. You see what looks to be a regiment of some sort of individuals all lined up with their backs against the wall of the town. And they seem to be aiming out towards the open land between you guys, and the city itself. And these individuals seem to be doing some sort of motion, and at the end of the motion, about And 50 to 80 feet away, these explosions start popping off. After a couple circles in the air of trying to garner what's happening, with disadvantage.
My AC is a 12, Val.
Okay. An arrow comes flying up. This is at the max of the 600 feet that Kuramarsh has. But an arrow just clips you enough to spin you out of wild shape. As you and start to plummet a little bit, probably immediately recasting.
Yeah, immediately rewild shaping. What's something that has a slightly better AC? Nori would know this instantly. This is me looking through my list.
Oh, con save, by the way, for the horses.
How much damage should I take?
You took 7 points of piercing. So all you guys that are sitting on the horses just ass to ground.
And that's a bad sign.
Yeah, I'll start running.
Yep.
Don't worry.
And Nori will wild shape into a hawk and fly away
Okay.
towards her group.
Racha wouldn't wait for the rest of the group and just bolt his 150 feet around.
So Naruto running off away. You guys just follow the trail of dust left up behind Racha.
Can Nori try to find Rachad to make him, like, hold up so he doesn't accidentally get shot by something?
Make a perception check. Should be easy. I think you have advantage.
All these movement speed.
25, I believe.
Is your movement 25?
Yeah, I'm way behind everybody.
He's just yelling, "This is why I had Bill."
19.
Okay, yeah, it's easy enough to see as you start to fly back, kind of swooping and dodging as much as possible. You see Racha and his little Naruto run.
Nori, as best she can, reach out to him mentally and go, I'm okay. There's danger ahead, I think? No, there's danger ahead. Things are exploding. I'm not sure what's happening. I couldn't get as good of a look. I got shot.
I'd also prefer not to get shot again.
Yeah. Can Nori fly back up and then go, like, 700 feet up? Get out of range, or, like, not 700, but, like, 650 up, so that I can't be in range?
Sure.
I don't
So
like that
you
shirt.
do that. You
No.
go back. No.
I'm gonna get hit.
You go back and you.
I make sure I'm out of reach.
Yeah, you feel decently confident that you're out of reach as you start to pick up, figuring out first off where that arrow came from, as well as what's going on beneath you, and you're getting the sense of these controlled and the direction that these people are doing these things. The people who they're not attacking the city, it doesn't seem. It seems that they may be practicing or doing something of that line. It looks like almost like a firing line of people as they're, for all intents and purposes, tossing grenades. Would be an easiest way to explain what you see, at least from your distance, that high up. But coming from where you guys have come from, especially down in the Artificer lands, once you put together that, okay, human-made or man-made things that are exploding, that seems very Artificer in nature. What is other Artificer weapons? Oh shit. Guns have a much longer range.
Don't piercers get like a mortar at one point too?
That is a 16 to hit. Okay. So there is.
I get hit. Nori polymorphs herself into a hawk again. This is my last chance. And then I fly the fuck away. No more. I'm done.
There's another different sounding explosion sound, and then right through one of your wings. That's giving you. Okay, that's only 6 points of piercing. Could have been much worse. And you fall out again, doing your death spiral down until you polymorph back in. Go ahead and make a perception check. As you spiral down and turn into a hawk once more, you see an interesting looking eagle is beelining its way towards you from down near the city.
Nori's just diving down as fast as possible, down and away. Just, if she gets knocked out of this, she wants to take as little falling damage as possible.
Okay. What's the movement speed on a hawk?
60.
Can Racha have been running this whole time after her? Even after seeing her fly off again?
She's currently over all the explosive area.
Something tells me none of that scares a Traw.
He's like, is my acrobatics high enough to
Yeah,
dodge
it's one of
all
those
these?
things like he's not exactly that afraid of it, but he's a little afraid of it.
Choice is
I
yours.
don't, especially if he sees her unshape again, knowing
She's
what that means.
700 feet up in the air. Like last time you guys had the horses being disappeared. You're like, okay, something happened. Now it's like this little, like, if you're running towards explosives, you're gonna keep your eyes on the explosions in front of you probably, rather than keeping your head directly up in the air to see if this little speck grows a little bit and then shrinks again.
But I mean, if he'd want to stay relatively near to her, so if he sees her start to dive bomb like she is, that's when he would go in there.
Alright, make a perception check. Alright, you do see her when she polymorphs and starts to dive bomb away from the explosion, so you kind of readjust your route and start to meet up with where you think she would impact if she went straight to the ground. But this eagle is on your tail, Nori. It is following you in a dive bomb pattern.
Just letting herself fall, get down as fast as possible, and then when she's like 50 feet up, she'll open her wings back up, try to stop her fall, try to take as little damage as possible.
Okay. The rest of you guys who are catching up see Racha kind of start to veer off to the right, so you guys take a diagonal approach to intercept. You guys then see two birds in full free fall dive going down towards the ground, figuring that probably one of them is Nori. So this helps pick up the pace internally for some of you guys. The explosions have stopped, and movement can be seen along the walls of the city itself. Nori, you dive, and about 50 feet up, kind of do the whole parachute flap out, trying to stop yourself as much as possible, kind of doing a bit of a dip, and you wouldn't have impacted the ground at all, except this eagle is fucking... And as soon as you flare out, it just full-on impacts.
I have
I'm gonna kill
70
that
hit
kid.
points. I can probably survive this.
It's 9 points of bludgeoning damage from eagle to hawk impact.
So Nori turns back to herself, taking 6 damage.
Yep.
And starts to fall.
How far away are we?
You guys are catching up. Polly, you're a little bit behind everyone else, but everyone else, you guys are about 2 turns away.
So not able to catch.
No, definitely not. So as you get impacted by this eagle, you bamf back out into yourself, and then this eagle bamfs into this orcish woman who is now above you as you guys plap plap into the ground. Only 50 feet up. You take double damage though because she's landing on you.
Yep.
Literally some of the worst rolls. Only 9 points of bludgeoning for her, so 18 for you.
Nori
As
lands
she-
and just goes, ow.
Yeah, she impacts you, and you like first you impact, then she impacts, and then she kind of like rolls away off of you, and you kind of just lay there like, oh fuck this. Whereas she's like combat rolled forward, and she's got her staff out now in front of her as she sees the rest of your friends coming. She immediately casts Spike Growth along one
Wait.
side.
Wait, no, wait. Calm down. Not attacking. I was seeing if people were attacking because we were coming up and there were explosions. I'm so sorry.
She's just got her staff pointed at you and like one hand out towards everybody else. There's still Spike Growth in front. I mean, Spike Growth, as long as you don't run into it, it's not going to hurt. So.
And Nori doesn't get hurt by spike growth. She's
Yeah,
immune
no,
to it.
she got Spike Growth between her and the rest of your group. She's got the staff pointed at you.
Yeah, how far
Yeah.
away are they?
After about 10 seconds, you guys have all caught up to the edge of the Spike Growth.
Oh, Racha would
Recognize
have
Masoga?
It's Mazoga, yeah.
gone, and if he had noticed the spike growth, full on sprint leaped and tried to spear this woman.
Okay.
Nori would try to stop him.
I will start screaming as well. Like, stop, 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 stop! Everybody just fucking stop!
Chill!
I'm
Rachel,
emotions.
I'm fine! I'm just a little bit hurt.
Porn mass cast calm emotions across the field.
Alright, Shaw, go ahead and roll initiative.
Can Kaporn roll to see if he can stop her jaw?
What's the range on common motions?
60 feet?
Yeah, no.
Within a
It's
20
like 120 feet out.
Yeah, I can outrun you guys by like 80 feet around. I get there well before anybody else.
The only one who has
Can I
any
cast something
chance
as
of
well?
catching Racha ever is Giant Eagle Nori.
I
Bryn
mentioned before
Hasted
calm emotions.
can get close for sure, but
Okay. Alright. So she sees you full bore running, and okay, you see as these thin flames wreath around her. She casts Fire Shield on herself. And then she just is going to... Let's see what she's got going.
Can I cast Sending really quick?
You can, but it would be at the end of these two guys' turn. So, give me a second. And then she's going to cast something and hold it. Okay, Racha.
yeah, he'd go just running straight forward, and he'd feint trying to attack her, but is actually going for Nori. So he's gonna like lunge across the spikes if he could see it, at her, hoping she'll dodge out of the way, and then try and be near Nori.
Yeah, Nori's standing up now as soon as she sees Racha trying, but from her perspective, attacking this woman.
All right, Richard, go ahead and make first a perception check, and then second a dexterity saving throw. You do not see the spike growth, but you do save from the burning hands that she casts when you get close enough. And then with your uncanny dodge, you take no damage from it.
So yeah, then I'll take some damage from running across the stuff. And as soon as I take some damage, I'll jump to do the lunge.
Okay, so just 2d4 off the first 5 feet. Yep, 8 points of damage. And then you yeet yourself over the rest. Luckily, she rolled away from Nori, so she's like 15 feet out. So you can interpose yourself between the two.
As soon as I land next to Nori, I will grab her and dimension door away with the cape back to the rest of the group.
All right. Easy enough to do. So Nori stands up and goes, wait, no, it's all just a... And now you're behind everybody as everyone's running, yelling, wait!
Everything's okay. I think she's a druid. I think there's a misunderstanding. Yeah. Rachel, thank you for the save. That was very sweet. But I'm okay. I was only a little squished.
What the hell?
I got shot again. I got hit with an arrow, and then I got shot. Everything
Don't
should
do
be
that.
okay. Yeah, I agree. And then she dive bombed me as a bird, and it hurt like a bitch.
So he transformed twice, and she's like, "Okay, we need to take her down."
Seems a little overly hostile.
I was flying over the thing. It's reasonable to be hostile towards a magic user. Did she leave?
Polly?
Yes, please, calm down, please. They're with me.
You see this orcish woman drop the spike growth, and as she kind of like goes to walk forward, the bottom half of her turns into a horse, and she kind of like catches up the space between you. And then as she gets closer, in fluid walking motion, the horse portion of her she stops it in some sort of half wild shape that she's able to do.
Nori looks fascinated.
And she kind of like goes directly to Polly and kind of immediately digs down into one knee to give him a hug.
I'll hug back. And I'll kind of talk into her. Can you please call Kuramarsh off?
Yes,
I know
I
he's here
already did.
somewhere.
Already did. They're already on the way back.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's quite all right. A little bit overeager on my son's part, and I was just following up when we don't get many druids up this way, and seeing wild shaping so freely, kind of thought we were under attack.
No,
Or
no,
getting scouted.
I'm so sorry. We just heard explosions, and I wanted to check to see if everything was okay before we all rode up.
Yeah, I will turn around and look at the group and like, yeah, magic's kind of a new thing around here, so maybe we should cool it for a little bit.
That was my goal in flying very high up, but, you know,
I know, I'm sorry. I should have said something before, and I just am so used to you guys that I forgot.
She walks up to you, Nori, and goes, "My apologies," and she's gonna cast Heal into you.
Thank you.
So the way she does it is she reaches out, and instead of actually touching you, it almost looks like moss seems to grow across her palm. And she touches you, and then the moss, like, sticks to your skin, and then kind of just gets absorbed by you, and then you just feel completely refreshed.
Again, Nori is fascinated.
Sticky.
Stick?
Oh, shall we go
I
see
said
my mom before she
sticky.
beats me up?
Right. She kind of...
Again, I'm so sorry. Hello, my name's Nori.
Mazoga. And, unfortunately, welcome to Sobran. Bit of a weird, welcoming party, I guess.
We've had weirder, it's fine.
And she starts walking you guys towards the entrance.
How do you spell that name?
Mazzoga. And as you guys start walking up, you see looks to be a plethora of human, half-elven, and dwarvish individuals are kind of all lined up. There's seems to be boxes of these glass orbs filled with some sort of liquid. And you also see about 10 Duragar that are among the dwarves as well. As soon as you guys pass behind this line of individuals, an orcish man, resembling somewhat to Mazoga, resumes their practice as they start to light and then throw these glass orbs, and they start exploding as they impact. These are basically firebombs.
Well, that's new.
Yes, we've contracted some. She kind of looks at you while walking. Family of yours.
Have Bryn and I seen these before?
Yes. And as you guys start to move through the gate itself, you guys get directed by Mazoga, passing the guard, and go into the gate off to the right. And you guys are starting to pass by stables. 3 to 4 large buildings that are all stables. But just outside, there seems to be a small encampment created. Just a few tents that have been erected. And currently sitting atop a pony, holding his warhammer with the purple gem inside. Hawkus is kind of like leaning on his saddle, yelling instructions, but taking it easy, towards some people who are unloading crates from inside one of the stables out onto a cart to take to the rest of the reserves.
Is he on my bill?
Yes, he's on bill.
I will beeline it over there.
Did someone forget to give me a notice, or just did I piss off Trentsmere?
Yes.
And
Remember,
I will
when it
let
comes
my
to
cousin-
Hawkus's piece, you didn't get a notification until you were really close.
But he got one of you.
Yep. So, as you guys approach, Hawkus and Polly starts making his way a little bit faster towards them. Hawkus kind of leans back on the saddle and looks over, starts to get off Bill, pats him on the back of the mane, and hands the reins over as Polly approaches.
I kind of really appreciate this. I really do.
No problem, Polly. Thought, since I was coming this way anyway, save yourself a trip.
Yeah, and it's really good to see you. Are my parents treating you well?
Some more than others. Your father doesn't like having someone who beat him in a competition around here.
Yeah, I'm sure. What time are you meeting up with him?
It's about noon right now, so in about half an hour.
Okay. Then I think that we should head over there now before he gets too into it.
I'll meet you there. I gotta make sure these, He kind of, like, looks for the word and, like, stares down at his fingertips. Children! Learn how to handle these correctly.
I very much understand. Speaking of children, I will turn back to Mizoga. Have you seen Eartha Marsh? You know where he is?
I believe he's in the gardens.
Alright, I'll catch him later. And I will lead my friends to my house.
Okay. Hawkins walks past you all, kind of giving you all nods and waves and giving you a high five or chaw.
He says, "I like your stuff, Endurga."
He responds back. And then he kicks one of the Durgar people that are working for him in the ass to hurry up, who is holding a crate full of these firebombs. You just see the sheer panic of this guy's face, and he's like trying to keep it all steady, like, oh, fuck me. But
Cha will resist the urge to pull one out and make everything collapse.
But you guys start to be led in the direction of that Polly is taking you. Moving through a couple of the streets until you eventually get to this one long stretch where a decently large building is off to your right. Seems like almost a compound that in itself is walled off and separated. Not quite large enough to be the academy and not in the correct placement that Polly probably pointed out to you as you guys were approaching. That was the academy, and he would probably tell you this is, was it the mining company?
The mining headquarters, yeah. Gorgonit and Gremlins.
Tells you that's the mining headquarters for Solbrun. And you guys start to pass by. As you've gone in so far, you've seen what would amount to regular houses and what would amount to, like, nice houses. And the street that you're currently going up has a mixture of both. Until eventually you end up seeing one house nicely built with a good-sized yard compared to the rest of them. A fence outlining its surroundings, and in the front yard seems to be two decently long tables with white tablecloth on them, and a flurry of different people that are currently setting out plates, silverware, and looks like there's a roasting pit that's being prepared. Looks like almost like a wedding reception of sorts is being prepared here. And one dwarven woman currently has her back to you guys and is just pointing and yelling with a very stern but commanding voice. That, like, I probably should not piss her off type of voice.
Mom, we're home.
She turns around, opens the gates. Well, it's about time that you all clean up. Dinner's in 20.
Okay.
And
I
she
will
just
hug her anyway.
Oh, she gives you a big old hug. No punch this time. And she gives you the big old hug and just points in the direction. She doesn't point to the house. She points slightly off to the side of the house where you see what looks to be like 4 large buckets of water and a semi-small trough. And you immediately see Polly go over, dip his arms in, start washing. It's an outside washing bin. And as she greets you all like hello, 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 but just continues like
I'll
almost-
introduce everybody as they walk by.
almost flight attendant wise. It's just like she acknowledges you, and she says all the formalities can be done after everyone's clean.
And I will explain to everybody she keeps this station over here because my dad gets kind of messy at work and she hates a dirty house. So clean up as best you can. Do your best. Obviously, Rachalis might not be as easy for you as it is for us, but you know.
Bath time.
Rachel
Yeah,
gets all
pretty
in it,
much.
just
Still has like chunks of paint from the rave we were at 4 months or a month ago. It's like,
definitely bird baths it up.
Or he just gets the dirt that was after she was just crushed by a woman, gets all the dirt off of her.
Rachel, as you're like halfway through your bird bath, and this basin is decently big, but it's still small for you to do a bird bath in. 3 individuals come out with which looks to be like probably a wash basin that's used for like cleaning clothes. So it's decently large, about 4 feet across, and they just take 2 of the wash basins that are not being used right now and just dump all the water into it. And she comes over and goes, "Sorry, if I would have known a bird friend was coming, I would have made the correct preparations. I hope this is more than suitable."
which is submerged fully in it already and like rolling around.
I think it's fine.
She's got a smile on her face while she's watching this go down.
So we clean up.
Ask
Do
Nori, can you
I
like
see my sister anywhere?
Not currently, no.
What's up, Capan?
you have some like nice smelling flowers or something I can I just kind of smell.
I'm supposed to not use spells at the moment.
I think back here, if you're doing something minor, it's not that big of a deal. Just, around town. My parents aren't so bad, but, this whole area is just kind of starting to get used to it a little bit. So,
Yeah, Nari will just make something and then hand it to him. Not a lot, but just some.
Well, as she's about to introduce herself, Polly's mother comes over with what looks to be 2 small little. They would almost look like bowls, but they're decently small with what looks to be like a little bit of oil inside. And she hands one to you, Nori, one to you, Bryn. And she says, "I'm sorry for the more abrupt greetings earlier. My name is Annabelle. Annabelle Shalmazel, welcome to my abode. These," and she points to the 2 saucers, basically. Mini, only about 3 inches wide, with just a few drops of oil inside. Those are fragrances to use, if you'd like. I kind of judged, pointing to you, Nori, yours is a lavender, and Bryn, yours is a mint.
Well, you were correct.
It's really wonderful to meet you all, and I hope we can have a very entertaining dinner. Seeing you all, I feel like that is on the menu.
Entertaining. Oops, the loot into his hands like it can be entertaining.
Let's leave it to the professionals. As she points over and you see like a 6-piece band is starting to get put together.
Oh, what is the occasion?
My son's home. You would be surprised how often or not often that happens. So I'd like to make sure that meeting new friends, it's the most pleasant experience that we can have. And as far as the oils, do not worry about using all of it. I tried to get my daughter to use this, but I swear she gets so much of herself from her father. But take your time. Inside, there are early refreshments. Enjoy, and Polly, your father should be coming home any moment now.
I will escort my new friends into the house. Gonna give a small tour, and then go back outside and wait for my dad.
So, as you guys go inside, it's a nice house, decently well made, a little bit taller than you would have expected for Dwarven. So, even the tall people in the group do not have to duck or dive for pretty much anything. There's a couple instances where there's a little bit of a lean, but overall it's still comfortable. You guys are starting to get heavenly smells of different foods being prepared. The only place that is currently blocked off is the kitchen, as many different individuals are constantly going in and out of it, so it's just easier to stay away. But after the initial sort of tour, you guys are led back out to the front area, along with the refreshments that were inside, which was lemonade and bits of shrimp cocktail, just simple things to eat to get started. As you guys move out, some more heavier drinks are available, and places are food. There's a pig being roasted. There's food just starting to get set out among the table along the middle of it, and it's not long after that you start to hear an interesting bit of rabble-rousing coming down the street of what sounds like two men drunkenly singing their way down the street towards the house. And then a third voice, a woman's, slightly more intoxicated than the men's voice, just as loud as they all start singing their way down the street. You see Annabelle kind of just in middle of conversation with probably, out of everybody, probably Kaporin. And she just looks up and then looks over to you, Polly, and goes, "Family's home."
Took long enough.
As Hawkus...
I saw Hawkus on the way in, but yeah.
As Hawkus, Vernon, and Laverne all come into view, all supporting each other arm in arm, and get to the edge of the gate, and Vernon kind of stops them, shakes his head, and turns around and looks at them and kind of slaps their faces a little bit to sober them up. Again, all in full view of you guys. And then he slaps Hawkus a little bit, and then he points at his face, and Hawkus gives him a hard slap across the face as well. And then turns around, and Annabelle's really just staring at him. And he's just like, "Hi, Annie." And she just points towards the wash basin in the corner, which the water has been refreshed. Dinner's in 10. And Vernon opens the gate, hustles the other two through. Laverne, kind of seeing you, Polly, gives you a big old wide smile and a wave before Vernon pushes her forward towards the wash basin. Hawkus is doing this let go catch of his hammer.
Arya covers her neck.
And my family.
And they all rush over, with Laverne going first, getting impacted by Hawkus, who then pushes one of the basins over, which drenches Laverne. and then a big pool of water starts to pile up off to the corner. Luckily, it's aimed in a direction where the tables aren't going to get swamp watered, basically. And it's just basically a Three Stooges montage off in the corner for a couple seconds. Annabelle turns back to you, Kapor, and finishes her mimosa. And just almost like that one episode in How I Met Your Mother where she pays the bartender to, whenever you see my hand out, put a drink in it. She just reaches out and lets go of the glass, and one of the waiters is like, catches it and replaces with the glass and then runs away. Well, tonight shall be interesting. So, let's all sit. And she gestures towards the tables as you guys all start to take positions, leaving a space next to her open, a space next to Polly open, and a space next to Bryn open.
The Cha has the entire platter of shrimp cocktail that he's just walking around with.
That would
Super
be the
fluffy
Cha.
like the photo.
All right, and that's where we'll end it, right before you guys are about to sit down to dinner with this Schlamazel family.
I'm sorry. There were spaces between who?
There's a space next to you. There's a space next to Annabelle. And a space next to Polly. Hawkus is sitting next to you. All right. So that's where we're going to end it. Any questions?
Is the spaces because it feels like there's some sort of pecking order kind of a thing going on, or is it just that's just where everybody's at?
That's just because they're finishing as you guys are starting to go sit, so these are where people are going to... Laverne's going to force her way next to Polly. Hawkus is going to...
Wait. So you're telling me I got two fucking Trentmere pieces on opposite sides of me right now?
Yeah.
That's not fucking dangerous. Cool. Thanks for that.
I didn't say Nori had to sit next to you.
But would she not?
Well,
Well,
it's either sitting next to you or it's sitting next to Nori. Because the farther, if the hammer is let go, the farther the hammer goes, the more damage it does. So, either put a big, strong Valkyrie person in between.
No, yeah. I just needed to make sure I understood this.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a Trenty sandwich.
This feels very good and safe. I feel very comfortable here. Yeah, Nori at a party with another peace holder there. She's just thrilled.
Would it be better if he sat across from you, Nori?
It's all bad. Let's just get this over with.
At least if it's next to me, then maybe you'll forget that he's there if he's not too loud and drunk, you know? Because he's definitely not.
Look
No.
for that.
I was gonna say, if we have to switch the seating arrangement, Amric is the one who fought Hawkus in the wrestling competition, so he'd be totally fine with sitting next to him.
If he sits next to Nori, he does have the missile attraction shield, so theoretically it should hit him, not her.
I don't
It's considered
know
a
if that's-
melee attack,
Yeah.
just with extra force.
Bryn has no issues with it. She'll sit next to Hawkins.
I-
Becca wanted to make sure she understood the situation.
All right, let's move us. Let me give you guys the full Monty, okay?
I'm sorry, I did not mean to tangent this.
No, I've been thinking it too, and I've been very worried. I
Like,
know
the
he's
whole
very
time
smart.
at dinner. The whole time at dinner, Hawkins is just like angling the hammer. It's like pointing towards Bryn's ribs the entire time because it's trying to point up at Nori's neck. Is what I'm imagining. If at any point let go, Bryn's about to get a rib full of hammer.
Thanks for inviting us to your house, Polly.
Would have done a ton of shit if I hadn't.
Oz the happiest he's been in a while. He's got shrimp.
I'll put I'll make the seating arrangement so you guys can see it, and then I will send it to y'all. All right. Any questions?
I have one out, but I have
Okay. Anything else? All right. Welcome to the Schlemazel house. Should be fun. It's always a good time here. Alrighty, guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to message me and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. If I don't talk to y'all before then, have a great week because we are coming back on Monday. All right. You guys have a good night.
Night.
Y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you all for those that stayed with us. Have a great week. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.